Okay, I've seriously introed this. This is my third time introing this video. It is Friday. Normally I don't start a vlog off on Friday, but I have like things that I'm working on today, and I thought, why not pick up the camera and do like a Friday, Monday, Tuesday situation. So why not? I'm currently heading to ProSource to pick out materials. I went to a designer event last night at ProSource, but it was just so busy that I couldn't actually focus on picking out materials for the client. So gonna do that right now. Of course, I forgot the grass cloth sample that I'm matching everything to. I'm not going back to my house. It is what it is. So I'm just gonna go off memory and just pull a bunch of tile samples. I'm looking for the shower wall tile, and I think that's really it, because I have countertop samples at my house. And then we already picked out the carpet. I can pick out the paint and the grout. So yeah, I'm just doing shower wall tile. Oh, and shampoo niche tile. So those are, I'm actually not doing that, but I'm gonna go pick out tile and then keep working on the presentation for the bathroom remodel. Here's a little snippet of me just laying out the tile samples. I pretty much like to choose the largest island that's at ProSource, and I just start pulling samples and start mixing and matching, and I just kind of build the design from there, and I pick out the cabinet color, wall color, grout, everything. Now, and that was a really successful ProSource outing. I love it because my ProSource family, they just are so helpful, and they fed me, which is nice. They had leftover food from the event last night, and so they gave me some leftovers, and yeah, it was super productive. I pretty much picked out everything for the bathroom. It was a little bit difficult because I kept getting gravitating towards the blue grass cloth that I had, but ultimately I knew I wanted the black, like I wanted to incorporate the black, but just kept being pulled to the blue. But eventually I made my way back to the black and got a game plan put together for the black. So it worked out. I think it's gorgeous. I think my client's gonna love it. And I don't have that presentation for a couple of weeks, so I have time to kind of work on it. That's what I'm going to work on right now. I'm like getting my laptop all set up. So I'm going to keep working on the idea board for it, and I'll show you guys what I get after, or the after. Also, before I jump into working on the presentation, update on my daughter's sleep, because I don't know if you're a working mom and you have little kids, I feel like it's really relatable, but she slept through the night last night. Seriously, like I was so happy. I think she woke up at like 1 and she was like, and then went back to sleep. So I'm not even convinced that she actually woke up. So I, on the other hand, I woke up at 1 and then I woke up again at 4. I think just out of habit, but I just rolled over and went back to sleep. So it wasn't a big deal, but I'm hoping that we are on the up and up with her sleep and that it can get better and she can kind of kick the habit of waking up at 4 a.m. The only thing that I did different last night is I dressed her in one extra layer, because I was dressing her in like a top and bottom pajamas and then a sleep sack that has arms, and it's a 2.5 tog. So to me, that's enough. But then I noticed that at night, my husband and I are putting the extra blanket on ourselves. So I'm like, if we're putting an extra blanket on ourselves, that probably means she needs an extra layer. And so I just put a like sleeveless onesie on her. Doesn't seem like much, but it's an extra layer just to keep her core warm. So I did that. That's the only thing that I did different. Well, I did one other thing different. So I did that, and then I put her down an hour later than I normally would. So normally we lights out, she's in her not her crib, but her bed, and I'm like rocking her, giving her a bottle at 7:30, and then she usually falls asleep by 8:30. But last night we got into bed, my husband put her down. He started the process at like 8:30, so I'm assuming she was down by 9. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. Maybe she was just warmer, and maybe she was waking up at 4, because 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock is supposed to be the coldest point of the morning, like when it starts to get really cold. So maybe she was waking up at 4 because she was cold, and that extra layer just is making her warm. No clue, but I'm gonna do it. Oh, and third thing, I gave her Motrin before bed. So I did those 3 things. So I guess if you're a working mom and you have littles and your baby / toddler is waking up during the night, try some of those tricks, you know? I bet you she'll be up at 4 a.m. tonight, but whatever. So I just wanted to do a little update. I'm feeling rejuvenated. Alrighty, so this is as far as I've gotten. So it's a bathroom remodel, and then she's also redoing her master suite. So I'm gonna propose that we do a black board and batten wall, but on the boards do wallpaper, and that is inspired by, let's see, this image. So I love the board and batten wall on this one, but imagine on the board part doing wallpaper, and I want to do a black grass cloth. I think that would be so cool. So that's what you're seeing here. And then the walls, I just want to do the black board and batten on one wall, and then do the other walls like a light taupe color. So I want the window treatments to be the same light taupe color. Let me fix that. There. And then for the actual bedding, I love the idea of doing like a heavy pattern rug that has black in it, and then doing the rugs, the taupe and doing the pillows, the taupe color mixed with black. So that's as far as we have gotten, and then as I continue to work on it, I'm not gonna work on it much more today, but that's as far as I got. I am back at my house, finished up my work day, picked up Scarlett, and now she's eating some lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it, and she's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And so yeah, done with the work day. I will pick up the camera later for my friends, like she's doing like a spiked and sparkling, I think it's like a Christmas party. She's an interior designer and she's having a little party, so I might pick up the camera later. Who knows? But if I don't, then I'll just pick it up on Monday. I'll pick up the video on Monday. Okay, restarting because I already started and it just wasn't making any sense. But welcome to Monday morning, another vlog, another day, another vlog. This morning I have a lot that I need to get done, but I have therapy on every other Monday, and it's smack dab in the middle of my work day, so I really don't have a lot of time to get things done on Mondays like this. But nonetheless, before therapy, I'm gonna work on a client presentation for the bathroom remodel that I'm working on. I have that presentation next week, I think next Tuesday. And so I just need to keep working on it. I think I included Friday in this vlog of me like picking things out. I went to Pro Source, picked a bunch of stuff out, so I just need to keep working on that presentation. I also need to send some paperwork to a lending officer. My husband and I are kind of thinking about buying a duplex, even though we just bought land. We can't live on the land because we're building, and it's going to take us like a year to build our guest house, and then like multiple years to build the main house. And so in that year that we're building the guest house, we need somewhere to live, and so why not live in a duplex where we rent out one side and then we have a tenant in the other side of the duplex. But we're in the beginning stages of that idea, and I might do like a series on that. I have so many ideas from so many different series, but a series on duplex, and it's called house hacking really, but house hacking and kind of our journey with that. And then I still need to do videos about us buying land and our plans for the land, So I have a lot of ideas of what I need to film, but not a lot of time to film it. So I don't really know, but I'm heading into the office right now to get started with my work day. I am feeling very tired, and I should feel less tired because my daughter slept like a dream last night. My daughter slept from 9 to 7:30 last night. Chef's kiss. She didn't wake up not even once. I woke up at 5 a.m. and turned our heater back on because our heater is old and it just is really wonky. So I turned the heater back on, and then I went back to sleep, and that was a freaking dream. And I don't know why she doesn't sleep through the night more consistently for being 16 months. I have no clue, but I'm still tired even though I got like a full night's rest. And it's probably because I'm like 16 months sleep deprived. So whatever. But yeah, we're gonna head in and see what we get after. Also, I was getting her ready today, and I've talked about this before about how in the mornings it just feels like there's a million things happening. It just feels like so much is happening, and it's a rush, like a mad dash to get out the door. And I only have one kid. I don't know how people with multiple little kids get out the door and that work. I don't know how they get out the door. And I see on social media that there's like a huge push to do 2 under 2, 3 under 3. It's like a thing that moms and husbands like try to achieve. Even if they are not ready for more kids, there's just this like push to have your kids back to back because they can play with each other, or because you just kind of want to get the tough part of parenting over quicker. I don't agree. If your mental health or your physical health or your husband's mental health is not in a state or is not ready to enter into another child, don't. I tell you, a 3-year-old can play with a 1-year-old. A 4-year-old can play with a 1-year-old. A 5-year-old can play with a 2-year-old. Okay? You do not have to have your kids back to back to back for them to be able to entertain each other and to be able to play with each other. My siblings are all 6 years apart, and we played together all the time. So I just don't understand where this like idea is on social media that you have to have your kids back to back. So if you're watching this and you feel pressured to like have a kid right away after you had a kid, just because like social media is like almost glamorizing it or romanticizing it, or maybe your family tells you, don't listen to them, because I see so many posts. I'm on a lot of Facebook groups for moms, and I see so many posts of mom who like have multiple littles and they're dying. They're just like, I don't know what to do. I have a 13-month-old and a newborn, and I can't divide my attention to both. And my 13-month-old is not getting any attention, and the newborn's getting all the attention, and their husband works. And like, no, you don't have to do that. And if you do want to do that, good for you. But I just think that we should be talking a little bit more on social media about waiting and having larger gaps between your children. My husband and I both are on the same page. Well, he would like as many children back to back as I would allow, but we're both on the same page of we probably wouldn't even entertain the idea of another child until my 16-month-old was like 2.5, maybe 3 years old. My heart goes out to moms who make that decision to have 2, 3, 4 kids back to back, and then they are absolutely and utterly overwhelmed, and my heart goes out to you. Because once you make that decision, you can't take it back, obviously. And I think people think like, oh, I'll just get through it. Like, it'll be tough, but we'll just do it. And then your mental health and the mom rage and the anxiety and postpartum depression, and then sometimes the child has a hard time transitioning. It's just, if it's not for you, don't do it. Like, if you don't feel it on your heart, don't do it. So social media makes it seem like you have to have 2 under 2, 3 under 3, and you don't. So that's my little rant for the morning. I really got to go because I have not that much time to work. So we're gonna get started. So I didn't get super far on the presentation, but this is about as far as I've gotten. It looks a lot darker on camera than it is in person, but essentially doing like a very dark black statement wall and then doing the rest of the room pretty neutral. I need to redo the pillows. I don't know, something about the pillows I feel like is just, it's the pillows with the rug. I like the pillows with the rug, so I think I don't know. I want the rest of the room to be very neutral, like light neutral, and it feels dark. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not in love with it either, so. And then this one really is no different than that one, not that I'm looking at it. But for this one, I want to find a rug. This rug has black in it, like a lot of black in it. So I want to find a rug that really has no black in it. So I need to do that. But didn't get very far. That's as far as I have gotten. And I just got to jump into the next thing. I have therapy very soon, so. So right when I got to my office, I like put my laptop down and my laptop was kind of like lumpy, like there was something in my laptop case. So I go into my laptop case and what do I find? Tell me your mom. Tell me you're a working mom without telling me you're a working mom. I found butt cream in my laptop case. So little Miss Scarley must have thought, Mom, you need butt cream in your work bag. So I thought that was funny that she put that in there. I'm always finding things in my work bag. Like I found her toothbrush, I found the butt cream. She just likes to put stuff in my work bag so that I think about her during my day. So. Just got done with therapy. Oh, it's freaking cold. Wild. And I go to two therapies. So I have individual therapy. And then my husband and I go to marriage counseling. There's a lot happening. So that was my individual therapy session with my therapist. And it was a really good session. My therapist just introduced me to the Enneagram. I've heard of the Enneagram from like social media and podcasts and stuff, but I've never really taken much time to like figure out what I am or what my husband is. And we just talked about how like you can be one Enneagram and then your partner is one Enneagram number. And then there's like branches and what all the branches mean and what everything means and how if you can understand your partner's Enneagram better, then you can understand how they handle conflict better. So yeah, it was a really cool session. And then we just talked about my personality and how I deal with conflict. And yeah, really good session. Every session's a really good session. So I always leave my counseling, therapy, whatever you want to call it, feeling better. And I think that if you are not seeing a therapist, you should, okay? I think of it as just as important as going to the doctors or just as important as eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I did my eyebrows and they're looking wild. But I think it's truly, truly, truly important to not only go to marriage counseling, even if your marriage is amazing. I dare to say that no marriage is perfect, but whatever. Go to marriage counseling and then go to your own personal counseling because they're going to give you two different outlooks and you can extrapolate information from both to better yourself and better your marriage. So, but it's very expensive. I don't remember how much I pay, but it's just very expensive to go to counseling and therapy and stuff like that. But at this point, it's like crucial for my mental health to go to therapy. So, good session. It is 1 o'clock and I don't pick up Scarlett till 2 o'clock. And I should have been more prepared. Oh, I do have some phone calls that I can make. So, probably gonna make some phone calls, and I think I'm probably gonna be done with vlogging for today, but I might pick up the camera later. I wasn't going to film about this, but it's just so on my heart. I just got off the phone with a carpet installer that's going to be installing some staircase rugs for a client. The client is an hour away from my office. And so I call him, I'm like, I'm ready to schedule this. He said, okay, I'll call you back with some dates. I just got to talk to my installer. And then he calls me back. He's like, okay, can you do tomorrow or Wednesday? Today's Monday. So Tuesday or Wednesday. And I just asked him, like, is there any way that you have a different day? Can we do Thursday or Friday? He's like, those are the only days that I have for like the next couple of weeks. And we already waited a really long time to get these rugs that are going to be installed on the stairs. And so to finally get the rugs and then have to wait another like 2 to 3 weeks is so frustrating. Not to him or, you know, anything like that. It's not his fault that I just can't do tomorrow, because normally I would have a normal work day tomorrow, but my babysitter nanny lady, she's taking the day off, which is fine. She's allowed to take days off as long as she like tells me in advance, and she does. No, I have no problem with that. But that's when being a working mom and being a business owner, it just does, sometimes it just does not work out. And it's so hard to be pulled in two, because it's like, what do I do? Take my toddler on the job site, which I've done that before. When she was a newborn, I had to take her on job sites. But now she's a lot more active, and I feel like it's just not easy to take her to clients' houses. The clients are not there. They went back to California for the season. But I just know that the carpet install for the rugs is going to take a long time. The rug install is going to take a long time, and there's no way to keep a toddler occupied for 4 hours. And I haven't worked with this installer before, and so I'm not going to leave them there by themselves. I need to be on site and like managing it. And so I just feel so frustrated that this always happens when I need to work, but my nanny takes the day off. And so I'm like, what do I do when I need to like serve clients but also be a mom? And I'm sure that I could, I don't know. I don't have anybody that could watch her. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, my mom passed away like 6-7 years ago, maybe even more than that. And then my husband's mom lives in California, and we really don't have other people that could watch our child. There are like one of my good friends who has a baby that is Scarlett's age, so a toddler. She could watch Scar, but she's an interior designer as well, so she works during the day, and so can't use her to watch Scarlett because she works. So, and then my other really good friend who could watch Scarlett is a real estate agent, and so she works during the day. So it's like the little tiny bit of a village that I do have works during the day. They are working moms as well, so they can't watch Scarlett for me. And it wouldn't even be like, oh, can you watch her for an hour? They would need to watch her for like 4 to 5 hours, and I would feel so guilty about it that I would have to pay them, you know. So it's like, and I don't come on here. I'm very happy that I can be a working mom, and more so happy that I can own my own business and things like that, and that I can control my own schedule. But it's not always sunshine and rainbows, because it's just not always like that. So now I have to hope that I can get on the calendar for this and hope that it won't be in 3 weeks. So we're supposed to be getting snow. So the rug installer is like, oh, well, there's gonna be snow, so I don't really know. Like I said, it's an hour away. So he's like, I don't really know if I want to drive an hour away. And I'm like, oh my God, we waited so long for these rugs. I just need them installed. Like, it's just so frustrating. And I guess if he can't get me installed in the next week, then I'm gonna have to go find a different rug installer. And other rug installers, they don't want to install rugs that are not theirs. They want to install rugs that they provided. So it gets kind of sticky, and it's just a whole thing. And this rug installer, I've never used them before, and it's like a ma and pa shop, and he's very disorganized, very like not professional. And it's just giving me red flags. So maybe this is the universe telling me that I need to go find a different rug installer. So I might just lean into that and not even call him back and just try to find a different rug installer. But it's 1:30 and I pick up Scarlett at 2. I'm just waiting in like the neighborhood. So just waiting in the neighborhood to pick her up and feeling frustrated with nobody. I'm not even frustrated with myself. I'm not even frustrated with the rug installer. I'm not frustrated with the lady who watches my daughter. Like, I'm not frustrated with anybody. I'm just frustrated with the situation. I feel like anytime the lady that watches my daughter drops off or takes a day off from watching my daughter, it just like very much so impacts my work schedule, obviously. It just really impacts me because I only work part-time, and I have like a lot of businesses and things that I'm working on in that 4 hours. And so when I don't get the 4 hours, I can still work on things. I can very easily like set Scarlett up with some snacks, and like I'm on my laptop working and she's like having some snacks and playing with a box or playing with a spatula or whatever, and that's fine. But if my attention's not on her, she's like, Mom, your attention needs to be on me. And so I can still get work done, but I cannot go to meetings and stuff like that. So I'm just sitting in my car feeling frustrated that the only day he could get out there is tomorrow, and I just so happen to not have childcare tomorrow. So yeah, that's my rant. I'm not going to go on and on about it. Wasn't even going to talk about it because it's just such a boo-hoo, woe is me type of thing. But yeah.